Hey guys, welcome back to the Property Tank. I'm PK, bringing you unfiltered property insights every Monday, powered by littlefishproperty.com and our Ready Build solutions, the best value in knockdown rebuilds and dual occupancy. Book a call with me anytime, the QR code's on the screen, and for all the property nerds out there, join the Little Fish Network. Thousands of members and endless resources to help you win at property, and there's always new resources that we're filming, writing, shooting, editing, and uploading into the network. So keep your eyes peeled. Let's get into the show. And guys, before I forget, if you want to follow along with the daily activities here in Little Fish and what I'm doing out on site, in the office, all that sort of stuff, jump across to Instagram. The link's in the description below. Come say hi. Let's get into the show. Okay, team, let's get into today's episode. Last week, we spoke about blue chip suburbs here in Victoria, here in Melbourne. And let's be honest, they're pretty expensive to get into. So for the common folk out there like you and I, hard to get into those suburbs. So we thought this week, let's do an episode on affordable suburbs that are achievable, but also seeing great capital growth. So this is going to be where affordability meets capital growth. So we're going to look at the last 12 months across Australia, capital cities. When I talk capital cities, we're talking Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. They're the main ones. Sorry, Darwin and Tassie. But let's talk those five. They're the five that we want to talk about. And let's talk about where the opportunities lie in those states around the place. And then what are the high-performing suburbs in those states for houses and units? And let's look at why. Let's look at the commonalities between those suburbs and potential suburbs that people, you guys down there, and myself are looking to invest into the future. So guys, what we've seen is Australian house prices across the country increasing about 0.5% in the last month, in the February month. And we're looking at about a 3-4% increase across the country on a year-on-year percentage, which is great. But let's break it into the states. So first one I want to tackle is Sydney. Suburb called Fairfield, with a medium house price of $1,155,000. This is in houses. That's the house medium house price. It's located 32 k's from the CBD of Sydney. It's got amenities, it's got parks, it's got villages, but more importantly, it's got good transport. So good transport hubs to get you into the city. Known for its affordability, charm, proximity to city, and that sort of thing. So transport close to schools, amenities, villages, shopping centres, and those sorts of things. So 32 kilometres southwest of Sydney, 23% in 12 months. Amazing. Let's look at the unit suburb that has performed the best. Punchbowl, medium house price of $532,000. That's 20 kilometres southwest of Sydney CBD. Again, boasts affordable housing, shopping precincts, family-friendly environment, and again, with transport links to the city and local amenities like parks, schools, and shopping centres. So some great numbers there. So we've got units increasing nearly 20% and houses increasing nearly 23% in those respective suburbs, 32 kilometres out of the CBD for the houses and 20 kilometres out of the CBD for the units. So great outcomes there in those particular suburbs. All right, let's move along. All right, guys, let's get into Melbourne. That's where we are, in Melbourne. So obviously last week, circle back to the prop tank. You can see the blue chip suburbs, medium house prices of $4, $3, $2 million. And now let's get into some more affordable ones. So Cranbourne South, medium house price of $828,000. Price growth over the last 12 months, 10%. So Melbourne's been super flat over the last 12 months, but 10% out in sunny Cranbourne South. So located 45 kilometres southeast of Melbourne CBD, rapidly growing area, offering affordable housing for families. There we go. West Footscray, medium house price for units of $547,000. So West Footscray, I guess super close to the CBD, 12 kilometres west of Melbourne CBD. It's an area that's gentrifying. It's affordable, close to schools, got amazing transport, Really good transport, really close. The Footscray line, the West Footscray line, the Tottenham station take you straight in. So that's an increase of nearly 25% in the last 12 months for units.
West Footscray, have you done any development or knockdown rebuild there?
Plenty of developments in West Footscray, Bonnie. We did our first development ever in West Footscray, Bonnie. So we did a dual lock, little single-story dual lock there many moons ago. But great transport. It's gentrified a long way since we've been there. We haven't done too much there since. It's tricky. You've got to find, which you'll circle back to the development tank to hear, but you've got to find the margins. The margins got a bit squishy.
Not to mention, I think it's really close to CBD as well.
8 kilometres, Bonnie. Really close. I reckon it's even closer than that. But yeah, circa 8 kilometres. So it's a couple of stops and you're in the city versus Cranbourne South, that isn't amazing for transport, but still a great opportunity. 45 kilometres away. 8 kilometres? 45 kilometres away. Is the western suburbs an opportunity, Bonnie?
Depends on your lifestyle.
Depends on your lifestyle. And I think Melbournians have sort of a stigma about the west. Some people live in the east, can't get their heads around the west. But when people are coming into this state, into this CBD new, where's the value? 8Ks from the CBD of Melbourne with a medium unit house price of $547. Values in the west. Okay, guys, and getting into Brisbane, seen a lot of growth. Its medium house price has gone up circa, I think, between 10 and 13% in the last 12 months. So it's gone amazing. We're about to get into some pretty big numbers because these houses and units in these particular suburbs have performed really, really well. So let's get into it. So house prices, which has seen amazing growth, nearly 37%, is in the town of Tivoli. Medium house price of $628,000, located 40 kilometres west of Brisbane CBD. So it's near Ipswich, relaxed lifestyle, all this sort of stuff, but 40 Ks out of the CBD of Brisbane, and it's seen nearly 37% growth. Amazing. And the medium house price, super affordable. And as we know, the medium house price sits there. There'll be stuff above it, stuff below it. So to suggest that you can get in at a 500 level, I would imagine, without doing deep research, very, very achievable. Dakabin, medium unit house price, $667,000. So just a little reminder, nearly over $100,000 more than the medium unit price of West Footscray here in Melbourne. Over the last 12 months, it's seen nearly 52% growth. Amazing growth. 30 kilometres north of Brisbane CBD, close to main arterials, so transport's good, getting into the city's good, and lots of benefits there in Dakabin. So that's Brisbane. So we've seen houses up in Tivoli, 37%, and units up 52% in Dakabin. Now, Bonnie, can I bring your attention to the fact that unit prices, West Footscray, circa 550, 8 kilometres from the CBD of Melbourne, one of the most livable cities in the world. And then sunny Dakabin, 40 kilometres out of Brisbane, medium unit house price of nearly 660, 670, 40 kilometres from Brisbane, 8 kilometres from Melbourne, over $100,000 discrepancy in medium house price. Bonnie, where are you buying your unit?
Obviously Melbourne.
West Footscray, let's go.
It's the Olympic is happening soon in Australia, right?
Olympics are happening up there, up in Brisbane, 2032.
Does that affect any property market?
Oh, I think of course it affects the property market. There's going to be a lot of infrastructure happening up there. We were up there at a property expo late last year. It's going to affect infrastructure. They're pouring a lot of money into these areas. So yes, capital growth and these areas that are reasonably close to Brisbane, will they see sustained growth until the Olympics? I'm not sure. Maybe. They've seen a pop, whether the pop and the gains are already built in to the prices. But yes, Bonnie, great point. We were up there and they were all very excited about the Olympics coming to town. All right, guys, let's get into Adelaide. Some more big numbers here. And Adelaide is one of those capital cities that has seen last year medium house prices go up that circa 11-12%. So a strong performing capital city, greater capital city there in South Australia. Now, house prices. The medium house price in Elizabeth South is $477,000, and over the last 12 months, it's seen an increase of nearly 33%. So 33%, all the same things, shopping precincts, recreational reserves. They're starting to become a theme here. Strong transport. So we've got the Elizabeth South train station there as well. And we've got the Elizabeth train station there as well. So there's some common themes happening here, guys. Where do people want to live? They want to be near schools, near villages, near amenity, and transport is a big tick as well. Whether it's a main arterial, whether it's train, buses, where you can get into the CBD. So affordability, so you can get into these big hubs, but you can also get out at a reasonably low cost and convenience. Units, Salisbury East, some big numbers here. Medium unit price, 465,000 there in Salisbury East. And the price growth over the last 12 months, 55%. So extremely solid, extremely solid. Salisbury East is located 22 kilometres from Adelaide. And it boasts all the things we're talking about. I don't even need to keep saying them. It's transport, it's villages, it's schools, it's amenity. All these sorts of things is what we should be looking for when we're looking for these affordable suburbs that are out of the CBD of these capital cities, because we're looking for affordability. And where's affordability? Out of these centres. But as we're seeing, there's capital growth as well. All right, guys, now let's get into Perth. All the way over in Perth, seeing some amazing growth also. And Perth's in that clump that has seen over 10% growth across the last 12 months. So, and these are definitely suburbs that have outperformed the state and capital average. So Medina, average medium house price of 545,000, and over the last 12 months has seen growth of 47%. So amazing growth there for houses in Medina. Again, family friendly, peaceful, close to schools, shops, and all that sort of thing. Amazing access, but again, great access to transport and these freeways to get people into town. Medina's located 34 kilometres south of Perth. So we're getting, Bonnie, we're seeing some commonalities around distance as well, aren't we? I'm reeling off 30s, 40s, around 30s to 40s, maybe 20 to 40 is a distance that people are obviously happy to be away from that capital city and able to travel that far. So that's something we're learning as well. Now, unit house prices. Orelia, Bonnie? Orelia. There you go. Medium unit house price of $315,000. It's the cheapest unit house price we've seen, Bonnie, today. And price growth over the last 12 months, 50%. Massive, massive. So Orelia, again, keep saying it, broken record, parks, schools, amenities, all these sorts of things, family-friendly environment. And the price growth over the last 12 months has been 50%. It's around 35 kilometres from Perth. So again, Bonnie, that between 30 and 40 distance from the CBD. So yeah, great growth there. Will it continue in Orelia? Not sure.
Can I have a best two from you?
The best two out of that list. 10 suburbs. Okay, well, let's go with West Footscray on top, Bonnie. Maybe a bit biased, I'm not sure. We love WeFo. But West Footscray, it's 7 kilometres, 8 kilometres from the CBD. One of the most livable cities in the world, and a lot of upside there as well. And the houses didn't appear in the list, but houses, units to be 8 kilometres from the CBD in Melbourne. Thank me later. And then the next one, let's stick to Brisbane, Bonnie. Let's stick to one of the Brisbane suburbs. With the Olympics coming, hopefully we can bank on some steady growth up there. So let's go Melbourne and Brisbane. But yeah, West Footscray for the win, I think. All right, great episode there. Please like, share, subscribe. Anyone that's going to get value out of it. And remember, shoot across to Instagram. Daily updates, live stuff, authentic, pure, real stuff, day to day. So jump across to Instagram. And until next time, have a great week in property. Let's go.